Sombr has just released a brand new single and it's called Potential. Now, Sombr, I think on paper, is not the kind of artist that is aimed at me. I do not think I am the demographic. I have sort of seen him in passing. He's young, clean-shaven, handsome Zoomer. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything against the guy. It's just I immediately switch off because I just assume the music is not for me. But last year, he released, I think, his first album, forgive my ignorance, and my girlfriend was very much into it, and even though we could both agree that potentially neither of us are the kind of like full target audience for it, actually, the music's kind of good. I will admit, the music is kind of good. I have got more than one of those songs from that album saved onto my normal Spotify list, right in between Metallica and Ghost, you know, like, it's unusual for my music taste to sit that way, but actually, I do think the song Undressed is kind of a banger, and a few other ones like that. I do find, yeah, maybe the marketing a little bit on the cringe side, but again, I'm so aware it's not for me. I'm a 30-year-old millennial bloke, so I get it. I ended up kind of begrudgingly, I don't even know why begrudgingly, I have no reason to dislike it, really, but I found myself begrudgingly respecting the music at least, and I can tell this dude is massive. He is one of these big up-and-coming, well, not even up-and-coming anymore, just a massive artist, right? And I'm kind of curious to see what that looks like now. I mean, how old is the guy? I'm going to find out he's like 19 and it's going to make me really, really upset. He's 20! I hate it so fucking much. That's why I don't like him. I'm jealous. Anyway, he's clearly going to be making a fairly large impact on the music scene, and so I'm kind of curious to see what it's like. So, we've got this new one, Potential. I'm curious to see whether or not this is going to land on the side of me going, a little bit performative, young Zoomer energy or whatever, or will I just continue to appreciate the music for the quality of the songwriting itself? We shall see. There's only one way to find out. So, we're going to jump in, listen through Potential together. I'm going to skip through, pause it when there's something kind of interesting to talk about, and then afterwards we'll figure out whether or not this is something I'm going to continue to listen to. I guess we'll find out. Let's jump in. So, interesting. First shot, I immediately go, Damiano David. It's another young-ish, handsome dude. He's kind of going for the sort of, like the leather trousers, the sort of big floral shirt. It's a vibe. I actually quite like that this is where it's like sort of like retroism that is coming back. It seems like it's more relevant to the younger generation than ever, but I do actually quite like it from a visual perspective already. With the spinning table as well. It's a nice synthy soundscape too. I will admit, I like the tone on the bass. The bass, maybe it's a cheap and easy comparison, but it actually makes me think of Tame Impala quite a lot. And I guess maybe with the multi-layered synths on top of it too, but they're nice tones. He's clearly got a good grip on timbres and sort of EQ, things like that. It's a nice kind of ethereal soundscape. He has got a good voice on him too. Like, he's hitting those high notes like very, very clean. It's like the way that it's quite monotone. Na 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 na. It goes all the way up at that last bit, and he hits that. It's like mid-flow. You don't get a lot of time, like a breath or anything to prepare yourself. He is able to hit that note. I mean, obviously I know it's produced, but I assume he can do it like pretty cleanly going there. It's nice, and it's a nice little injection of sort of personality and emotion going on in there too. Lyrically, I think I already saw that this is about a sort of failed relationship, right? So he's going to be lamenting his lost love. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm expecting the lyrics will probably end up being comparatively cookie cutter, but I do quite like his vocal performance as well. He's a good singer. I just realized, he must be American, right? Yeah, from New York. So this music video is a lie because he is 20, so he's not allowed to drink yet. That's okay, he's allowed to roleplay as an adult because he's clearly got a good voice on him, god damn it. Oh, I really like the way that they had, it felt like a kind of orchestral swell or something there that kind of like came in. It's almost like a crashing wave of sound there to transition into the chorus with that little like ad-lib woo in the corner there. That's a really nice transition. I love the way that the synth's kind of opened up, and it now seems like this chorus is actually going to be way more sparse. It feels like it's percussively dropped down a little bit. It's going to become more staccato, less of a synth wave. We'll see, but as a mechanic, I did actually quite like that. I will admit, I also quite like his mic stand. I don't think I've ever seen one of those mic stands where it's on one of those things that's that balance so you can't knock it over. It's actually kind of cool. Okay, that's kind of interesting. Is that like a vocoder or something like that? As his like normal lyrics sort of vocals drop off at the end of the chorus, the synth lines all stack up again, and then it sounds a lot like he's, you know, when you sing through the little pipe in your mouth and you play an organ, a keyboard at the same time. I'm 90% sure that's a vocoder. Okay, that's kind of interesting that it's like lyrically actually seems to be actually literally about him. It's a shame we had to break up, but I wrote some songs that make me famous. That's actually kind of tragic for a 20-year-old to be singing about how maybe his like shooting into the stratosphere of fame has kind of like ruined his relationship, which I totally understand it might. I imagine he went from, you know, a normal kid to an international superstar sex icon like quite quickly. Also, kind of interesting creative choice there to leave the breath in. It's kind of very Matt Bellamy, but I think in the context there, it's not all of them. It was just the occasional one, and that one worked quite well because it's him hitting a like slightly more impassioned note. So kind of the production on there, I'm sure, you know, he's just got some very, very, very fine, expensive producers on this, but I like that creative decision. Again, there's like little moments there, that like gap in between the two phrases. That was like, it sounds like maybe there's like a synth string line or something like that, but it's quite distorted. But I really like the implementation of that. It's not very frequent, but the way it's sprinkled in and out is actually very nice. I will say, I do find maybe the chorus to be a little bit anticlimactic. I feel like the verses are building out to something with like just a little bit more kind of, like kind of slightly higher level, sort of like slightly thicker timbre, I guess is what I'm going for here. Maybe it's going to get there sort of later on in the song, but it does kind of feel a little bit like it's building up to something that then doesn't quite capitalize. It kind of carries on chugging along again. And I do like the sort of like difference in the sort of expectation, but still, we'll see. Oh. That was very nice. I like that a lot. They had a sort of like lead. It almost felt like it was like a slide guitar or something like that, or something with a lot of bending, but a sort of like lead guitar line that came in towards the end there, just as it's about to, I was about to say, oh, I really like the transitions, and it transitioned into a different line, and he changed his vocals up, the synth line changed behind it, and I believe that guitar line synced up with the melody of the vocals there, and he went up into a slightly higher octave, a little bit more impassioned again. Everything kind of followed him in a really, really satisfying way. The way that those sounds all melded together for that transition was really very nice, actually. I think that, I mean, I'm curious just how much of the writing Sombr does. I mean, for all I know, he writes every single part, but I would imagine, you know, he's not playing every single synth line. So I'm curious how much of that goes together, because it's all very coherent. The way that the sort of parts interweave and kind of like ebb and flow, the layering dropping in and out. It's nice. I got to admit, it's nice. Yeah, that slide guitar there is good. I feel like the vocoder may have come in there as well and mirrored it very quietly underneath, which, again, it's nice. This bridge section is definitely the highlight of the song for me so far. I'm liking what I'm hearing. So this is the kind of thick sort of payoff I was kind of hoping for with the chorus, but I guess actually it kind of functions quite nicely in a bridge format instead. Okay. Yeah, see, again, he's really leaning into this now. It's a clever idea. He spent a lot of this song establishing various motifs at different points and kind of like interweaving them. And now for this last bit, when he's going through the last chorus again, now they're all kind of playing at the same time, slightly in canon, kind of flipping in and out, overlapping each other, and it makes for a very sumptuous sound. Yeah, harmonies are up on full volume at this point. There's extra harmonies I don't think were present beforehand. The synths are like, there's like 3 or 4 synth lines going on at the same time. Get him! Shouldn't you be at school? I would admit, the music video was like... Well, I mean, engaging, I guess, is the right word, and I guess there's no real reason for a music video to have logic, but I don't really understand what the fuck I was watching. I mean, hey, if I was him, I would also be, you know, it'd be really fun, let's do like a museum heist, and let's go to a jewelry, but I mean, lyrically, I can't quite see how that lines up, other than, I guess, he... Well, no, because it's kind of counter to the lyrics. I was going to say, you know, he's there with his old partner in crime and then she leaves him. But actually, I guess she did leave him. But in this case, he gets arrested. But anyway, video aside, and sort of like mild pre-biases about his age and stuff aside, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I'm not sure that it's good enough to the point of like, well, okay, no, good isn't the right word I'm looking for. But I'm not sure if it's my style enough that I will latch onto it, but I can totally see my girlfriend getting into it, and I think with a little bit more background play, I will find myself listening to this, like, on purpose. I thought that there was a lot of very, very nice synth layering there. Some of the quality of the production and the writing, but just like a lot of the middle stuff, like the drums pretty much just churned away the whole way through. That's fine, that's kind of what they're for. I like the tone on the bass, but again, that did a lot of establishing of the root notes of the chords, which is good, because it allowed for everything else to kind of go a bit crazy, because there's not a lot of guitar going on there for at least most of it. Many, many, many lines of synth, but actually the tones were great. Maybe just a couple of times towards the end of the song, I was like, oh, is that another new synth tone? I'm not sure if we need another one. It's almost like somebody took GarageBand and like shook it all over this song, but it works in like 90% of the time. It's a clever deployment of it, where, apart from at the end, which is where it felt sort of like earned, right? It kind of interweaves, and I thought the transitionary periods, the bits that go in between the verses and the choruses, and then that transition to that bridge were excellent. I really felt like it all flowed very, very nicely. The sections clearly ran into each other nicely. His vocal performance was nice, sort of way more emotional and impassioned than I feel like somebody of his age should be able to produce, to be honest. So from that aspect of it, I thought it was good. I think that maybe the song takes just a little bit too long to kick into gear. Like, by the time we got the second chorus, I was like, I feel like it needs a little bit more progression, but that's a minor criticism, because again, for a guy his age, my god, there's a lot of very subtle handlings of timbre and stuff like that, which I actually thought was really, really good. You know what? Good for him. I am going to continue to be like, I find him just like a little bit annoying, but again, I think it's probably just because he's young and handsome and I'm old and less handsome. So, you know, I get that, but you know what? Good for him. I think if this is the music of the sort of Gen Z, then it's significantly less like kind of predatory and corporatized than I think a lot of its competition. So I'm quite happy for something like this to emerge and sort of like, you know, maybe lead a charge into some more interesting. It's like a sort of like a follow-on for the sort of, you know, what the 1975 was for my generation. I'm hoping this is going to maybe be the same thing for the sort of 15 and 16-year-olds that are currently going on, because I think there's nothing inherently wrong with the imaging or the messaging. Some of it was actually kind of interesting and retrospective and talks about his, you know, meteoric rise to fame at quite a young age, which I actually think is lyrically an interesting thing to talk about. So yeah, you know what? Props to Sombr. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Old man signing off. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm going to imagine the majority of you guys are probably Sombr fans already, so hopefully I haven't upset you with my old man ways shouting out this one. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is, you know, an example of him continuing to move forward and to get better and better, or is it just the same? I don't know. Let me know. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to chuck us a like or subscribe to the channel. That helps us a lot. Otherwise, have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.